पहाडमा भर्खरै उदय भएको नयाँ राजनैतिक दल हाम्रो पार्टी उपाध्यक्ष प्रभास्कर ब्लोनले आज सिलिगुडीको जर्नलिस्ट क्लबमा प्रेस भेलालाई सम्बोधन गर्दै हाम्रो पार्टीको प्रमुख मुद्दा नै गोर्खाल्याण्ड रहेको बताएका छन्। साथै समय अनुकूल परिस्थिति हेरेर हाम्रो पार्टीले गोर्खाहरूको युगकालीन माग छुट्टै राज्य गोर्खाल्याण्डको मुद्दालाई बौद्धिक रूपले अघि बढाएर लाने बताएका छन्। साथै उनले गोर्खाल्याण्डको आन्दोलन अब पुनः पुरानो प्रकारले नगर्ने अनि गोर्खाल्याण्डको आन्दोलनमा पहाडमा अशान्ति नहुने प्रकारले हाम्रो पार्टीले गोर्खाल्याण्डको मुद्दालाई अघि बढाएर लाने दावी गरे।
Bengali Student Front or someone like that organization came over here and they gave such a statement, and that creates a rift between two communities, which is very bad. That should not be done in the near future. No, it's not a movement has been done so many times. I am from a party which has recently started. We have started a party 3 months before, and we have won a municipality election in the span of 3 months. Actually, our party has not been totally formed. We have formed our central committee 3 days before. So when we started our party, we launched our flag, and in the meantime, election came. Election आ गया, 3 महीने भी नहीं हुआ, हमने municipality election वहाँ पर जीत लिया. So what is the motive of our party? Goal of our party is long term and short term. Long term is our demand of separation from Bengal. That is our long-term demand. And in short term, if you go back to the history of Darjeeling area, for the last 35 years, people have been driven down to poverty. We want to lift our people from that poverty level and give them a good administration. That is our short-term goal. In long-term goal, we want separation.
So, अलग स्टेट का मुद्दा है?
हाँ, हमारा मुद्दा है.
आपका भी रहेगा?
हमारा भी है, सभी का है, हमारा भी है. But we don't want to agitate in that. Okay? Agitation has been done. Lots have been done. Now we want to work in that movement.
पहाड़ में जो anti-3MC.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Vice President Pravaskar Blone from Hamro Party. So if you have any queries, you can ask me afterwards. First of all, I came here to clear one thing. It's been late because we were very busy in our busy schedule. So the time has passed quite late, but I had promised my Hill people to come here to clear some of the facts. First of all, there was an organization, I don't know what's its actual name because that organization is not a known organization, Bengali Students Forum or something else, that came to this press club and gave a statement that the Gorkhas in Bengal, they came from according to that statement, it means we are not from India. They came from a foreign country and they're claiming for a separate state. That was the gist of their statement. So what I want to clear over here is the movement for separate state for Darjeeling, Tarai, Hills and Doers is a constitutional movement. It's a constitutional demand. And first and foremost, I want to clear it that it is not an anti-Bengali movement. That is the one thing I want to clear it. And none of the organization, none of the individuals should paint this movement as anti-Bengali movement, which will create tension between the two communities, which we have been living together for so many years. Even though we have so many Bengali friends and families living in the hills who are with us in our demand. So this is not an anti-Bengali movement, and nobody should portray this movement as anti-Bengali movement. And regarding the fact that they claim that this land belongs to Bengal and the Gorkha people have resided here, they have come as a foreigner, is a wrong concept. Those people are unaware of the historical facts and geographical facts of this land. They should study themselves before giving this illogical and irresponsible statement. Before issuing irresponsible and illogical statement, they should keep their facts and their knowledge up to date. They should know the history, they should know the geography of this place before saying such a statement against one community or against one movement. It can be for a separate state or against a separate state. This is a democratic country. It happens all over India. But that doesn't mean that you should give such a statement which creates a rift between two communities who have been living in this area in a peaceful way, in a brotherhood feeling. So, first of all, what I want to clear those brothers is हम लोग जहाँ भी होगा दार्जिलिंग में हम लोग अलग दिन लड़के वोट फॉर्म किया है दार्जिलिंग म्यूनिसिपैलिटी का वही मॉडल हम फॉलो करेंगे
Mr. Brown, my colleague recently organized
a seminar on permanent political solution that should be given by state, not by central.
Are you going to accept it? If given by the state government, so that won't be a separate government, as you also know, I also know that.
Our permanent political solution is a separate statehood demand. That's first and foremost, and that's fine.
What would be the name of that separate state?
We can name it afterwards.
Why are you not naming it Gorkhaland?
Huh?
You are not naming it Gorkhaland?
No, we are not against the name of Gorkhaland, but we want to name it afterwards. That is our stand. We can do it. We can change the name of the nomenclature of the state anytime we want.
Separate state.
We want to clear it is, we want separate state from as our demand. And people are miscalculating separate state as Gorkhaland. If the government of state, central government gives a separate state in the name of Gorkhaistan, then what will happen? Will it not accept it? Will it accept GTA? It hasn't been elected body for such a long time. That shows it's not functioning well. We, this party, Hamro party, has clearly stated that if the state government doesn't go for panchayat elections, then we'll go to the Supreme Court. We'll file a case over there. What is the status of panchayat election? Even the GTA Act and even if now we are saying that the DGSA Act is hampering the municipality election, even if we study the DGSA Act, two-tier panchayat is possible in the hills. I don't know why the state government is not going for those two-tier panchayat. And if they if they are not serious regarding panchayat election, we can move to the Supreme Court.
क्योंकि GTA उनका एस्पिरेशन को फुलफिल नहीं किया है, लेकिन आप लोगों ने कहा था कि आप लोग लड़ेंगे.
We are not in favor of GTA. Crystal clear. We are not in favor of GTA. But if the government imposes GTA election, if the government does GTA election, then we don't want to leave it empty. Because whether that fulfills the aspiration of the people or not, that is a different topic. But recently we have GTA as an administrative body. So we don't want to give it to the hands of those people who have misgoverned the hills for these 35 years. We want to give a good governance to the people of our hills. So we'll fight that election.
जो लोग
राजू की स्थिति वो आपसे बताया कि ये GTA ये नहीं चलेगा, ये रिजेक्ट हो गया, इसलिए बीजेपी कंटेस्ट नहीं करेगा. इसको जो सेंट्रल की जो रूलिंग पार्टी है उनका सांसद भी इधर भी है, सभी सांसद का ये स्टेटमेंट आप कैसे देखते हैं?
No, everybody knows that GTA doesn't fulfill the aspiration of the people. Okay, then BJP has won 3 terms from this area with the promise to give a permanent political settlement to this area, not to the hills, but to this area. So if they think that GTA doesn't fulfill the aspiration of the people, then give permanent political solution. Who is stopping Raju Vista and BJP from doing that? They have an absolute majority in the central government. Who is stopping that? They have won the election on that mandate. So please give.
अगर आप GTA इलेक्शन लड़ेंगे, कोई प्रीपोल अलायंस होगा किसी के साथ?
ना, हमारा कोई अलायंस नहीं होगा. हमने पहले ही डिक्लेयर कर दिया. We are with the people. We are not with alliance with any political party. We don't have alliance with the state government. Neither we have alliance with the central government. Central government parties. I want to clear that. State government parties or central government parties किसी के साथ भी हम लोगों का गठबंधन नहीं है. हम लोगों का गठबंधन है तो people who have been deprived of their rights. So we won't go for alliance. So this we can term it anything, but the long term demand है, long term demand नहीं, long term हम लोग working agenda है, long term.
क्या करेंगे?
We have made our plans how to work for this separate state, but we have asked the people, and through this press, I once again appeal to the people, just give us 2 months' time. Because once we have formed our party, we have not got any time. We have made a central committee 3 days before. We couldn't held a big meeting or a big sabha like that. Once we started our party, election came. Because all of you know that we have been working for the people in a social way. We have been working for the poor people, sick people, everyone, for the students, for the youths. That social work has been continuing. So once we started our party, we couldn't fully concentrate on the party works because our social work was going on over there. We have been looking after sick people, बीमारी लोग, 100 से भी ज़्यादा बीमारी लोग प्लांटर्स में आते हैं दिन में, उन लोगों को ट्रीटमेंट करना पड़ता है. So we were busy in that work. We don't have 100% time for our party work. So in that situation, municipality election came. We had to fight it. Once we won municipality election, दार्जिलिंग का आप लोगों ने देखा है वहाँ का टाउन का हालत बुरी हालत है वहाँ, उसके काम में लग गए हम लोग आधा टीम. So we are very much busy. So just give us 2 months time. We'll give you a clear picture how we will put forward our demand for separate state to the central government.
You mentioned
No, we don't have to keep this agenda to capture the power or like that thing in the Hill people, because Hill people have faith in us. They have been misled, they have been misgoverned by the previous parties for such a long period, and without saying a word on Gorkhaland, we have won a mandate in the Darjeeling Hills. Once we organized our party, the first election was municipality election, and we showed our mandate. We didn't have to say Gorkhaland in that, because municipality doesn't mean, election of municipality doesn't mean that we have to say the word of separate state. That is a different type of election. So we don't think we will use it as a tactic. The people will know how sincere we are once we put forward our plans and programs for our long-term demand. She has been doing from the state government side. We can't say the state government is totally neglecting the hills. She has been doing, but the state machinery, which should function well for the development, is not functioning. That should function well. So we are saying if GTA election happens, then we will fight it, because the machinery in the hills has been failed.
not from
Geographical facts of this land, they should study themselves before giving this illogical and irresponsible statement. Before issuing irresponsible and illogical statement, they should keep their facts and their knowledge up to date. They should know the history, they should know the geography of this place before saying such a statement against one community or against one movement. It can be for a separate state or against a separate state. This is a democratic country. It happens all over India. But that doesn't mean that you should give such a statement which creates a rift between two communities who have been living in this area in a peaceful way, in a brotherhood feeling. So, first of all, what I want to clear those brothers is Darjeeling, Siliguri is a part of Darjeeling. Siliguri itself, the name suggests that if they don't know about the history, Siliguri is Siliguri. Gadi is a Nepali word. It's a Gorkha word. You should know that fact. Gadi is a Gorkha word. Gadi means a fort. So, regarding that, Darjeeling, it's a modern name. If you go back to history, Darjeeling is Dorjeeling, and Dorjeeling is our native language. Bengal has issued a white paper, a government notification, which states that this land was the land of erstwhile Kingdom of Sikkim. Okay, that is a government notification. And if this land was the government land of Sikkim, the history of Sikkim dates back to 1641. 1641, when West Bengal or East Bengal, the creation of West Bengal and East Bengal was not, it was history in 1641. I think Bengal was ruled by small provincial Nawabs or something like that, if I am exactly not correct, in 1641. And if you go back to the history of this land in 1651, we come to a treaty called Loben Chom Sung. This is a Sikkimese word that means Lepcha, Bhutias and Nepalis. These Loben Chom Sung treaty of 1641 suggests that there was three types residing in this land. There were the Lepchas, the Bhutias and the Nepalese or the Gorkhas. So those histories and the government notification issued by the state of West Bengal in 1986 proves that this land was the erstwhile area of Sikkim. So now, regarding the 1641 1641, when West Bengal or East Bengal, the creation of West Bengal and East Bengal was not, it was history in 1641. I think Bengal was ruled by small provincial Nawabs or something like that, if I am exactly not correct, in 1641. And if you did go back to the history of this land in 1651, we come to a treaty called Loben Chom Sung. This is a Sikkimese word that means Lepcha, Bhutias and Nepalis. These Loben Chom Sung Treaty of 1641 suggests that there was three types residing in this land. There were the Lepchas, the Bhutias and the Nepalese or the Gorkhas. So those histories and the government notification issued by the state of West Bengal in 1986 proves that this land was the erstwhile area of Sikkim. So now, regarding the history of West Bengal, we were in West Bengal by Absorbed Area Act of 1954, and that Absorbed Area Act is been repealed by Government of India in 2018. Now, according to, if you go back to the historical facts and the treaties of this land, we can say that West Bengal has its colonial rule in this area, in Darjeeling district, Tarai and Duars. So, we want separation from Bengal, that is a different subject in different grounds. That is administrative ground, that is linguistic ground, that is identical crisis, all those things are related over there. But this movement should not be termed or should not be labeled as Gorkha versus Bengali movement, which we strongly condemn, because Bengali community is a community who has been living with us in peaceful and harmonious way for such a long period. And if we come back to the history of Siliguri, the people who wants to create a rift amongst us should know that the first MLA of this Siliguri was George Mahabat Subba, who was MLA himself, who was a Gorkha. And if you come to the area of this Kanchenjunga Stadium, this was formed as Tilak Maidan, who himself was a Gorkha, who had donated this land, which we now call it a Kanchenjunga Stadium. Without knowing the historical facts and without knowing the geographical facts of this area, none of the organization or none of the parties or organization should create a rift between two communities, which we strongly condemn.